What's up? I'm Fjester, and you're not. And this is going to be my new series called Master's Class. That's right. Who knows more about everything than me? Nobody. So, in the first episode, we're going to go over the 5 best mods for an FJ Cruiser. It's going to be good. The number one mod that every FJ owner should do as soon as they possibly can is, that was a drum roll, tires. Unless you're driving the Trail Teams Edition on 10-year-old or older tires already, you've got SUV car tires. So here, if you look at the white FJ with SUV carpool lane tires, and then you look at this same SUV, same color, with some off-road, mud terrain, all-terrain tires, look how much better it looks. Now I can't tell from here, but it does look like the off-road tires are the same factory tire size, the 265. If you go up to 285s, which is the next step up, you're going to gain an extra inch in diameter of tire, and you're going to gain some off-road looks. 285 is about the biggest you can go before you need to start messing with the CV axles and gearing and other stuff. But with 285s, many people have fit them on their stock FJ tires with no body mount chop, no suspension upgrade. Myself, I did it all. I did the 285s, I did the body mount chop, and I've got a 3-inch Bilstein lift. I have had this FJ in every possible position short of on its side or on its roof, and nothing rubs. All right, class. Because of the new COVID variant known as the 2-day cough, we've got to do this class remotely by way of Zoom. Which means, Jeffrey Tubin, if you want to whack off during class, you can do it, just like you always do. The second lesson that we're going to do right now is what's known as the light bar. The FJ Cruiser has really poor lighting for even the mall that's lit up parking lot. But you get off-road anywheres and this thing just really sucks. It's really easy to do light bars. They're inexpensive. They got all kinds of different options and sizes. The mounting locations on your FJ are unlimited. Let me show you the light bar that came with my FJ. Okay, Throwback Thursday. This is the way my FJ came when I bought it. As you can see, the light bar on top was nothing more than decoration. I think it was the same type bulbs that are in the mirrors. So it basically did nothing as far as illumination, but the wiring was already there in the mounts. So it was just a matter of me having to re-engineer it when I got around to it. Here's how I ended up re-engineering it. The other light, I'm going to call them markers, were actually inside the tube. So I had to get a replacement aluminum tube to go across the crossbars and then brackets to hold the new 30-inch curved LED light bar. I think it was just a cheap one off of Amazon somewheres. Okay, class, pay close attention to this right here. It's going to be on the final exam. There is a very minimum, almost barely noticeable difference in the size of the light bar and where you mount it on your FJ. So the difference between a 30 and a 52-inch, between mounting it on the bumper or mounting it on the roof above the windshield or further back like I have it, mounting lights in the bumper, on top of the bumper, below the bumper, the difference is so marginable, nobody's really going to be able to tell the difference. So the answer, kids, that you want to put on the test is fewer and smaller lights will get the job done. More lights will get you more attention in the carpool lane. Long story short, I ended up with 2 light bars. Both of them 30-inch, one up high, one in the bumper. And I didn't need both of them. I really didn't want both of them. I rarely used both of them together. That's when I decided to do that Japanese domestic market yellow tint and turn the lower one in the bumper into a driving fog light. And I really like how it all turned out. What kind of masterclass would this be if I don't show LED light bars at night? So here you go. Just want to show you how much light that these put out separately. Not there's not a point at which I'm off road late at night and I'll turn them both on just because I got them both and I want to get my money's worth out of them. But that's pretty bright for the white one. And this used to be white, but I didn't need both of them. They're just, one of them alone is bright enough. So I put some Japanese domestic market yellow film over the lower one, and it really works out great as a driving light in the snow or the fog or the rain. Not that we get much fog here, but when I'm traveling, you know what I mean? All right, class. Put down those goddamn game controllers and cell phones. That's your wrist I just slapped with my ruler. Turn your pages in your textbook to mod number 3. Page number 3. Sliders. The FJ Cruiser, the way it comes from the factory, is basically an SUV. A very capable SUV, but we've got to modify it to be awesome off-road. If you do anything off-road, you need sliders. And let's see, what do we got for clearance? Right here in the middle, I'm just gonna call that 18.5 inches. And they do work. I've got a road scar there, or trail scar. And then I've got a couple here where you can actually see where the boulders slid along here. Sliders are going to cost you approximately $300 and up, depending on which one you get. Depending on your off-roading anticipations, expectations, there's different types of sliders. Some of them will just mount to the body. Some of them will mount to the frame. Some of them will have kickouts to push the boulders away from the tire. Some of them will stick out far enough to where you can actually use it as a step to get in if you are inseam deficient and you need a little extra step to get up. And then there's some sliders which I just don't get. Maybe someone can explain it to me. But they've got drop downs of about 4 or 5 inches and they stick out, which are physically a step for really short people. Those help short people to get up into a tall lifted vehicle, but off-road, a slider is supposed to slide along the top of the rocks. Those steps are gonna hang up, break off. They're useless, in Fjester's opinion, for true off-roading. But to each their own. If that's what you like, then that's what you can get. Sliders are gonna protect your body, and at the $300 price range, any type of damage that you do without sliders is gonna cost you at least double what a sliders will for prevention. The stock Toyota factory sliders that come on, I don't know which vehicles they come on. I'm sure someone will leave a comment letting me know which ones. They mount to the frame. They're pretty tough. You can still buy them. There will be a link in the description. Many times you can find them used on the forums or the, oh gosh, I don't even know where people buy used shit anymore. but in your local newspaper, Facebook groups, whatever, if you can get the factory sliders, they're pretty bomb-proof. Regardless of whether they mount to the chassis or to the frame, there's basically about 8 bolts. So when they do get scratched up, rusted, 8 bolts, you take it down, you pressure wash it, you steam clean it, you sand it, you spray it with some truck bed spray can liner, and you're good for another couple years. Number 4 on the list of must-have, must-do mods. And this has got to be the lamest of them all, so we'll be quick. LED light bulbs. The FJ Cruiser only has 4 light bulbs on the whole inside of the truck. 2 that you push above the radio, 1 above your head between the passenger and driver, and 1 right here. These are also controlled by the switch. The stock bulbs that come with this are 1985 technology, incandescents. They're hot and they draw more power than the LEDs will. LEDs are going to be 4 to 5 times brighter. They're going to use 10 times less electricity, so it's no big deal if you leave these on and forget about it, or if you leave them on while you're at camp all night long while you're getting stuff in and out. It's not going to affect the battery, and they're going to be bright AF compared to what you have for stock. True Value, Ace Hardware, Walmart, and you can have these in tonight. Diode Dynamics, eBay, Amazon. You can get these anywheres online that you normally shop. The only thing you want to be careful of is the color. 2700 to 3000 is going to be your warmer color, the more traditional incandescent color. 4 or 5,000 are going to start getting into your really bright, really white lights. Getting over 5,000, you're going to be starting to hit the blue of the color spectrum, of the light spectrum. To me, that looks cheap and Chinese. So it's up to you. Man, this is my first time, actually 3rd time to be back here. 3rd time in the last 10 minutes doing this shoot. I don't know how you people sleep back here. There's no room. And I'm sitting on the deck here. I'm not a big guy. There's no room back here. You guys got to be crazy to be doing stuff back here personally. All right, last but not least, number 5 on the list. This mod is probably the one you will use the most, and you will get the most enjoyment from having done this. So what I'm talking about here are USB ports. They're very easy to install. The stock FJ Cruiser comes with one. It's connected with the radio. It'll power up your devices. So we're looking at over 15-year technology, and one USB port is not acceptable in 2022, is it? So anywhere you've got the little round, the little rectangular blanks on the dash, you're gonna have one to the left of the steering wheel and multiple ones to the right. You need these Toyota USB inserts. They're about $10 on Amazon. You don't need to go through China directly on AliExpress and wait 2 months for it, because it's the same price on Amazon. And then you need to add a fuse. It's very easy. Here's the links for it, and this is what it is. It's just a little thing that allows you to replace an existing fuse on your fuse box down here, and you can have the choice of whether or not you have it powered up by the ignition or by the battery, just by the location of where you add a fuse to your fuse box. Nothing to go through the firewall. Everything is done inside here. It is very easy. Over here on the left side of my steering wheel, I put one in that blank there. This one here is powered on by the battery. So my GPS stays, the battery stays charged in it, and I can use this as a power source to run outside to my GoPro mount there, or if I need a long cord up to the roof rack. But that's closest to the window, and that allows me to have power whether the battery's on or off. The one down here, I've got that tied into the ignition, versus over here if I leave something plugged in to be charging, like GoPro batteries, cell phones, GPS, DSLR batteries, drone batteries, all those things will charge off of these devices. So the way I'm set up, so I've got a total of 5 things I can be charging, and trust me, I've used all 5 at the same time many times. All right, man, let me know how many of these mods that you have, or how many of these mods that you plan on doing. And I will give you a grade for your first masterclass. Doing all 5 mods gets you an A+, 4 mods a B, 3 mods, that's average, that's a C, and you can just guess where everything else goes from there. That's all the lessons for today. 5 of the best mods you can do to your FJ. Give me a thumbs up, hit subscribe for the next class. Have your pencils sharpened. See ya.